All right, C1x Report. It is Idlewild round 3. I'm a little bit late to the party on this one, but we're here nonetheless. And we are going to be entering the man himself into C1X. As always, for the final round, we're going to look at the winning round, which was Paul McBeth. Super cool. I got into disc golf in 2020. At that time, McBeth was definitely still the best in the world. Cool to see him back on top, taking down Gannon. I think a lot of people were pulling for him in that final round, but pretty exciting nonetheless. So we've already got Idlewild up from our last couple rounds. So let's jump right into it here. No need to delay. I'm already a couple days after the fact regardless. So let's drag this over here. Let's enter Paul's final round into C1X. So hole 1, par 4, fairway off the tee, upshot to 1 foot, tap in for the birdie. I did get to watch this on Jomez, so that was pretty exciting, as did most people, I'm sure. Hole 2, same thing, fairway, upshot to 8 feet, tap in for the birdie. Hole 3, man, I didn't realize he was parked on the first 3 holes. It's a pretty good start. 3 down, 2, 3. Hole 4 made a nice 33-footer for the birdie. Oh, I did that one wrong there. Fairway and then C2. There we go. 4 down, 3, 4. Hole 5, drive in the fairway, not inside of circle 2 in regulation, but upshot to 10 feet, tap in for the par. Hole 6, fairway, upshot to 8 feet, tap in for the birdie. Hole 7, in the rough off the tee, was able to scramble, no missed putts, so fairway to 14 feet, made the putt for par. Hole 8, no scrambling, driving the fairway, so looks like a couple shots in the fairway, upshot to 9 feet. For the par, hole 9, drive into circle 2. I do remember that putt. I think he just barely missed it high. Missed circle 2 putt, but had a 2-foot comebacker for the par. Hole 10, similar. Drive into circle 2. Missed circle 2 putt, but short tap in for the par. Hole 11, another park job. Hole 12, in the rough off the tee. Was not able to scramble, so we'll say second was in the fairway. He threw his third into circle 1, but missed that circle 1 putt. Had the tap in bogey. Hole 4, couple shots in the fairway, upshot to 23 feet. Good make for the par. And then he turned it on at the end, did what he needed to. Drive into the fairway, upshot to 12 feet on hole 14. Made the putt for par. Hole 15, drive in the fairway, a nice 45-footer for the birdie. Hole 16, a couple shots in the fairway. Was that? No, it's not 16. 14 or 15 is the one that Gannon eagled, I think, which was crazy. 16, couple shots in the fairway, upshot to 9 feet in for the birdie. Hole 7, drive just landed in the fairway. Did not have a putt, but cleaned up the par at least. And then hole 18, fairway. It looks like he was closer than 11 feet, but they're saying he was not parked, so I guess I'll say he wasn't either. Maybe I'm wrong. I was just watching it from Jomez. But yeah, so that was McBeth's 9 under final round at Idlewild. We'll hit finish round and we'll take a look at these stats. Make it a little bit bigger. There we go. All right, 5 down through the first 6, which is an incredible start. 4 down on the last 5. That middle section, he really slowed down. That was when Gannon started to pour it on a little bit too. I think he had a pretty hefty lead through those first 6 holes, and then it all kind of disappeared in that stretch. Snuck it out at the end, but definitely made things closer than they needed to be in that middle stretch. Closer than I'm sure Paul wanted them to be. Not the best C1X putting, 80%. Didn't putt terrible, but not great. Only inside circle 1 in regulation 44% of the time. Good C2 putting though, 50%. Hit some fairways. Like, it wasn't just looking at these stats here, it doesn't look like it was as good of a round as it was. Like, it was still, almost 1050 rated, 9 under. Shot the round he needed to win the tournament, but being in Circle 1 putting for birdie 44% of the time, less than 50% of the time, only 80% C1X putting. It's nothing incredible. The round grade is still good, obviously. Not one of the higher ones we've seen, but still plenty decent enough round rating. Looking at the whole breakdowns, a lot of park jobs. What was that, 4, 5, 6? I have that one down here. Yeah, parked 33% of the holes. That's pretty ridiculous. I know Idlewild is a slightly easier course compared to some of the other ones on the Pro Tour, but that's still pretty high. Still a wooded course, still some tough tee shots. Park percentage was barely lower than his Circle 1 regulation percentage. So that's silly. So 11%. So there was only 2 holes that he was inside Circle 1 putting for birdie that he wasn't parked on. Kind of crazy. 56% birdie. Pretty solid round, just that one bogey. Lots of throws at Idlewild, lots of par 4s and 5s on that course. It's not surprising there. Obviously, high park percentage, some tap-ins for pars. Over 50% of his putts on the round were inside of 11 feet. Even if you're only 80% from C1X, that's a good way to still keep your score low, as have a lot of those putts be, a lot of your Circle 1 putts be inside of the park distance anyways. Only 24% of his putts were inside of Circle 1 and outside of that park range, so were C1X putts. 50% scramble rate, bounce back rate 0%, did not follow up his one bogey with a birdie. Followed it up with a par. Converted on all his birdies inside C1 in regulation. C2 in regulation, pretty good. 83% birdie conversion rate when being inside of C2 in regulation is high. That might be one of the highest that I've seen. No 3 putts, no penalty strokes. Average strokes per hole makes sense. Ton of par 4s and 5s. C2 bonus stat in the positive, which is great. Slightly better front 9 than back 9, is that right? I shouldn't have to double check, but we will. Yeah, 500 on the front 9, so that tracks. Only 3 C1X made putts in a row. That was his highest streak. 4 birdies in a row. But he had 2 of those, I think. No, only one of them. Just 3 in a row on the back 9. So obviously a really good round. More than a good enough round, but the stats don't paint it in the best picture. Good round rating. Park percentage was ridiculously high. That's a crazy stat. But it kind of seems like a typical really good Paul round these days. Like, it's not the McBeast mode where he just goes off and shoots, 16 down at the Champions Cup or something crazy like that, but just one of those rounds where he fought the whole round, threw some good shots. Wasn't always hitting his lines, wasn't always making his putts, but did enough good things to get across the finish line with the win. So definitely not a bad round. He won the tournament, so can't be too negative about it. But as always, we will jump over and create our graphic that's going to go up on the C1X Instagram. So we'll upload the screenshot that I just took there. We'll drop that into the app. All right, and we've got, give me the caps. Paul McBeth. This was round 3. It was a 59. We did cash line round was Alden Harris, and I put him as a buy rating. I thought Alden was going to come back and finish well above the cash line, and he did. He put up a 9 under like Paul did in this final round, so he jumped all the way up to 27th. So great finishing round. Finished 3 strokes above the cash, so not a ton, but a lot of players in between him and that cash line. So he was able to come back, which is great. That was a 1047 rated round. And let's throw our stats in here. So I was going to do the park percentage first because that is crazy. A third of the holes parked for birdie. You're generally going to have a decent round when you're doing that. C1x putting will leave in just because I think it was a little low for the round that he had. But he was 50% C2 putting, which is great, more than makes up for it. 50%. Still ended up with a decent round rating as well. I think in large part because the C2 putting was good, make up for some of those C1x misses. And threw decently off the tee, hitting a lot of the fairways, getting inside C2 in regulation on most of the holes, missing C1 in regulation on some of them, but making C2 putts. So that's all you need to do as long as you get a birdie. And now we'll create the thumbnail here for this video. So we got Paul McBeth. This is round 3. Rating wise, it's hard not to give Paul a buy rating. I do wonder, I think he's probably been pretty hungry for this win. It's been a long time since he won on tour. But I wonder if getting that win kind of satiates a lot of that drive to go out to, I think Deglow is the next tournament, to go out to Deglow and put together another good one. I know he has fond memories of Deglow, but we'll keep him as a buy rating. I'm a little hesitant to see if he slows down in that first round. Just he is. They were talking about it on Joe Mez. I don't think Tiger Woods is a great comparison. I don't think Paul's quite there yet. Like, he's still at pretty much at the top of his game. Like, he's not 2015 Paul, but the field is so much better. He's still playing really well. He's still top 5 player in the world easily. So I can't say that, this is like Tiger Woods winning the Masters. I think that's excessive. But it feels like it's been a while. I'm sure it feels like it's been a while for Paul. You can tell it felt like it'd been a while for the fans, especially at Idlewild. Just the cheers that he was getting, it felt like it was, Paul winning Worlds or something, and not just Idlewild. Just taking down Gannon, beating the best player in the world right now. That's a big deal. I'm curious to see how he comes out shooting at Deglow round 1. But we got a week off of that, so this is going to be the thumbnail for the video. This is going to go up on the C1x Instagram channel. C1x right now is into Apple for review, and that is for launch. Google and Android are going to be a little bit behind that. Google is being pretty difficult to work with, but surprisingly that Apple is the easier one of the two to deal with. Anyways, so C1x will be getting released soon. After that, we're going to follow with some new features that are going to give us even more to look at in terms of player breakdowns. Otherwise, we're going to keep up with these C1x reports, which I believe will be Deglow next. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up for the C1x report for the LWS Open at Idlewild. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.